Are you ready to take the lead in the dance of life? Fall in love with who you are right now? And find uninhibited joy every day? Then it's time for you to flaunt your smart, sexy, and spiritual self. Join radio host Laura Cheadle and learn how the 5 steps of flaunt can help you quit seeking approval, proving your worth, and release you from the judgment of others. Express all that you are, discover your naked self-worth, and finally, enjoy the life you've worked so hard to create. To all the women who have cried in the shower, smiled when they wanted to scream, and couldn't wait to get home and unhook their bra, Flaunt is the definitive guidebook on how to get back in touch with who you are underneath your labels, roles, and scripts. Fall in love with yourself right now. Breathe life into the dreams you left behind and live each day with uninhibited joy. Pick up a copy of Laura Cheadle's #1 best-selling book, Flaunt. Drop your cover and reveal your smart, sexy, and spiritual self wherever books are sold. It's available in print, digital, and audio formats and comes with 2 downloadable meditations.
Hello, you're listening to Flaunt, Build Your Dreams and Live Your Sparkle. This is the podcast and radio show for women who are tired of doing everything for everybody else, for women who are tired of always saying, well, yes, I'll do that after I do the laundry. Well, yes, I'll do that after I lose 10 pounds. Well, yes, I'll do that after, whatever it is. This is the podcast for women who are really ready to live their life full out on their own terms right now. This is the podcast for women who want to wake up every single day with joy and with enthusiasm for what's to come. For women who want to go to bed at night feeling satisfied, even if things don't turn out exactly like they wanted or thought or hoped. It's for women who just want to be happy. So if that's you, you are in the absolute right place. And if you are interested in healthy aging, oh yeah, and being sexy and filled with joy and just comfortable in your own skin, then you especially are in the right place, because today we have Leslie Attwooll, and she is the host of this awesome wellness women's virtual retreat that is coming up on February 20th, and you are not going to want to miss that. So with that, I'm just going to bring her on and let her talk about all things healthy aging, sexy, body confident, comfortable, all of that good stuff. So welcome, Leslie. I'm so happy to have you.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. This is so much fun. I can't wait to tell everybody about what's going on the 20th.
Yes, I know. Before you do, though, tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do and your mission, because it's a good one.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, as you were doing the intro, I could so relate to everything that you were saying, because I was that woman. And at some point, I just started like taking myself on, and I had this journey where I was able to lose over 50 pounds and 5 dress sizes, and it just completely changed everything for me. And I just fell in love with, this whole like self-love, self-worth conversation. And then I started building what I call my girl tribe. And we've been on this journey. It started with my friends, and now I do it actually professionally. I've actually been a longtime coach, but I've just shifted now my coaching to support women with accountability for fitness, having fun, and embracing their sexy.
Yeah. Isn't that so powerful? The girl tribe. I've got what I call my flaunt flock. Just that whole notion, though, of women coming together and supporting each other, and especially to embrace their sexy. That's so important.
Yes, at any age, right?
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to be 60 years old this year. And I jokingly say this, but I'm serious. Like, I think I'm pretty hot for 60.
You're pretty hot for any age. Let's just clarify. But it's so true, though, because it's such a paradox in our culture. We are shown all of these sexy women, and we're told that we need to be sexy without being told that we need to be sexy. But if you're a size 2 and have really big boobs and, you know, big hair or heels or whatever, it's like we're shown this constant montage of what it looks like to be sexy and how you're supposed to be sexy. But on the other side of that coin, if women overtly act sexy, it's a threat. You know, we're called horrible names, whether it's, you know, a slut or a tease, and we're judged. Oh, you're using your body to get ahead. You can't be smart. So it's like we can't win. If we're not sexy, we can't win. And if we're too sexy, we can't win.
You know, the beauty of being over 40, I work with women that are over 40, the 4s, the 5s, the 6s, and the 7s, is that, and plus, at some point, you just don't give a damn what people think, right? No. And you're just going to do you. And if you want to be sexy and dress any kind of way or not, like for me, sexiness is more of an energy. It's more of an empowerment. It's more of a confidence of who you are in this world and the amazingness of what you bring to it. And to be sassy and not apologize for that. And I actually was just reading a study that was done around words around like what people perceived beauty to be. And they actually felt that, oh, what were some of the, oh God, no, I started down that path and now I can't remember the words.
That's okay.
But there was a word, it was around like sophistication versus sexy. And women who were perceived as more sophisticated or refined, they actually were perceived as less aggressive. So women who were perceived to be sexier appeared to be more aggressive. And I think we need to push back on that. I think we need to challenge that notion that in society, if you are perceived as being sexy, there's something wrong with that.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, very interesting.
You know, I went for years, actually, I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but I went for years not embracing my sexy. And I got caught up in the seriousness of life. You know, I raised my family, had a job, did all the things. And I took this dance class and I hadn't gone dancing for years. And part of the dance was we were blindfolded and nobody was watching. It was just us inside of ourselves, feeling the music. There were some spotters in the room who were just observing to make sure everyone was safe.
Right.
And I got in touch. I was on the floor. I was just really, I tapped into that sexy part of myself. And one of the spotters at the end said, "You are a very sexy woman." And I really needed to hear that at that point in my life. And I was so grateful for her. It wasn't anything other than she was just admiring me and just acknowledging who I was in that moment. Mm-hmm. And that just started me on my journey to embrace my sexy.
Oh, that's beautiful. And that's beautiful on so many levels. But one of the levels that I want to shine the light on is the level that we do sexy for ourselves. You're in a room not to attract a man, but to get in touch with your sexy for you. And I think it is so powerful and important for women to acknowledge the sexy in other women, because we are beautiful beings. We are all beautiful. And I wrote a huge blog just ranting about Jennifer Lopez in the Super Bowl and Shakira when they did the pole dancing, and when it was women who tore them down. They're beautiful, they're powerful, they're strong, and we need to support each other.
Yes. And that's why I did Girl Tribe, because when I started on my journey of getting fit, I hadn't had the habits. I had been overcoming a herniated disc and all of the emotional turmoil that goes along with that. And I wasn't intrinsically motivated at that time. I was wrestling with like, oh my God, is this ever going to get better? Like this hopeless, helpless feeling that I was trying to overcome my physical limitations. Mm-hmm. And so it was my girlfriends, if I knew, and again, like you said in the intro, if I knew that my girls were going to be there at 6:45 at Topiary Park, I rolled out of bed. I didn't care if it was 16 degrees Fahrenheit. I rolled out of bed because my girls were waiting for me, and we walked and talked for 45 minutes. And it was through that walking and talking where some days were bad, like I struggled. And then I was able to talk to my girlfriends and they were able to talk to me. And then all of a sudden, right, I'm losing weight and I'm getting fitter and I'm feeling stronger and I'm feeling emotionally just free from the bondage of being ill, from having a debilitating injury like I had. So girlfriends are paramount, and we need to support each other and not knock each other down, because when one of us wins, we all win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's lean into that. When one of us wins, we all win. Girlfriends, tribe, tell us about what you've got coming up on the 20th.
Yes. I'm so excited about this. And so I wanted to do a wellness summit around healthy aging. And when I started doing the research, I noticed that a lot of it is like, geriatric, like healthy aging. And it's not, and I know, women in there around our age, we probably don't even think of ourselves as old, right?
Right.
But the reality is that we're kind of getting there at some point, like the body is eventually going to be declining and has been. And so I wanted to look at, first of all, reconnecting with ourselves, because man, this COVID thing and the isolation and like just all of what we all have experienced. And because we're women and because we do everything for everybody, I wanted women to just take a pause and just reconnect with themselves and then get recharged. And I also want to take a look at what healthy aging is, because when I think of healthy aging from my mother's generation, it's totally different from our generation. And I thought, let's redefine collectively what we want to see as healthy aging. And so part of the day is going to be devoted to that. But I have 10 beautiful experts. When we think of wellness, there's the physical, there's the emotional, there's spiritual, there's mental wellness. And so I brought experts in all of these different areas who are going to we're going to interview them. I'm going to interview them live, except for two. Two could make it on the day.
That's okay.
But I have Laura Cheadle is this amazing guest who's going to be live, and she's going to be showing and encouraging us to embrace our sexy. And so Laura, I can't wait to have all the girls, whatever you have in store for us, I can't wait.
Oh. I can't wait either. It's one of those things where when you talked about, just knowing your girlfriends are waiting, that's how I feel. I'm like, I just want to show up. I just want to show up and see who's there and what we can all do together and what we can create, because there's some fear around embracing your sexy.
There is. I actually, my premise is fit, fun, and sexy. And I'm wrapping up a program that I just did. And I brought on a friend of mine who is a body positivity photographer. And so we did a little challenge in the group where she was encouraging us to look at different angles. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
She was encouraging us to take a photograph from different angles. And so, of course, I'm the leader. I've got to be the first one to do it. So I captured this great pic, and it's 11 o'clock at night. I whip off my pajamas and I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? And I had so much fun with it. And when I posted it, it just was like a floodgate. And the feedback that the women gave in the group was like, it was so freeing for them. Like, yeah, okay, maybe they have a few roles here and there or whatever, but they just embraced themselves. Like they looked at themselves with a totally new pair of eyes. Yeah. And one woman actually said that was the most powerful exercise in the program that she did, was getting naked and taking this amazingly creative, beautiful, artistic picture of herself. And she took advantage of the lighting and her reflection was in the floor. She was on the floor naked. I mean, backside, like we didn't see the whole frontal, but we weren't encouraged to do that. But I mean, I know it might be scary for some women, and I know that there's probably, maybe some trauma that might come up, but I want to encourage women to step in and not be afraid. It's just a beautiful, loving, gracious experience that we give ourselves when we do that.
Yeah. It's really funny and interesting around the body positivity photographer that you were talking about. This morning, when I was getting ready, I took 2 pictures of myself in the bathroom mirror and I was going to post them. One was me. And again, it's not that you see anything, but it's like my waist naked and it's kind of straight up and down, whatever. But then when I put on my jeans, it squished up the roll of fat and it made it look so much worse. And I was working on editing them and putting them side to side just to point out, like, this is my same body this way and this way. And in one picture you think, ooh, that looks pretty good. And in one picture you think, dang, she needs help. And so often as women, we focus on that negative one. We're like, oh, this is awful. Yeah. And blah, blah, blah. It's not always awful. Focus on when it's beautiful, because it is.
Actually, 2 guests that I've got coming on for the wellness event. Yes. The first one, her name is Jennifer Davoust. She's actually a friend of mine, and she's a hypnotherapist, but her thing is talking and working with women about self-love. Perfect. And so I'm really interested to hear what she brings with that. And then the other is Lisa Lieberman-Wang. She talks about overcoming self-sabotage. And so I think that for women who struggle with that criticism that I've got to be perfect because that's what Hollywood and the media tells me I'm supposed to be, and I'm supposed to be a sweet young thing, and then agonizing over that. Hopefully most of your listeners will not spend 5 seconds on that, but I think we
do. Even when we're over it, we still go there.
Yeah, we do. I think we're our worst critics sometimes. That's a whole other conversation. But I work with so many women on the family of origin stuff and just moving past that. And again, that's like a whole deeper conversation. But I think the biggest thing is to be willing, be open to what might surface, and not run away from it, because when we run away from that, that's when we get numb and we stay on autopilot, and we don't embrace our lives and the fullness and the richness of our lives when we operate out of fear instead of being open and curious. So and a critical part of healthy aging is that.
Oh, absolutely. So who are the other guests?
Yeah. So I have Kezia Luckett. She's a positive psychologist, and she's going to talk about working with your energy. She's got something called the energy code that she's going to introduce to everybody. Ooh. And then Lauren Sims she's a dietitian, but she's more than that. She specifically is going to talk with us about hormones and adrenals. And so, but she's been in the health and wellness space for over 20 years. So, but she does have expertise in hormones and adrenals. And, as we get older with menopause and all that stuff, I thought it would be important to, because I didn't know much about hormone stuff, and I was tired, and I was, feeling older than I really was. And my hormones were out of whack. So, So she's coming on. And then I've got Anna Sienicka. She's a homeopathy person, and she does plant-based healing. And so she's going to come on and just introduce us, for those that maybe don't know anything about homeopathy, as an alternative. She actually is partnered in with traditional Western medicine. So she operates out of doctor's offices. And so it's like a dual support for the patient by integrating Western medicine with homeopathy. And then Orit Krug is a dance therapist, and she's going to support, she's going to give us a demonstration of what she's working on, but it's actually like working through trauma, through movement. And so she's coming on. And then Chef Babette, oh my God, this woman, I found Chef Babette, I saw an image of her, and it was called, the image was titled 7 by 7 at 70 or something. And it was 7 images of her, and she has the most amazing body. And then it kind of dawned on me, I was like, oh my God, this woman is 70 years old. And she looks like, when I grew up, I wanted to be just like her kind of thing. Like, she's got this smoking hot body, and she's been a celebrity vegan chef in Los Angeles. And so we talked, we had to record it because she owns a restaurant, and so she wasn't available on Saturday. But man, she had me tearing up. It was so good. So I can't wait to have everybody listen to her sage wisdom at 70. And then Dr. Kelly Rutley is going to talk about metabolic fat loss. And she said, ask me anything you want. I will tell you the whole thing of what you need to do regarding metabolic fat loss. So that is the lineup.
Gosh, that's going to be amazing. And I know a lot of people say, oh, I've got Zoom fatigue, blah, 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 blah. Tell us a little bit about the structure and the length of time for each presentation so people can understand what to expect and what to look forward to and why this is different.
Yeah, thank you. So there's 2 options. So this is a free event. So you're getting the benefit of the wisdom and of the expertise of all 10 speakers. And each speaker will speak for approximately 30 minutes. And it's going to be from 12 to 7 p.m. I have a lot of reconnecting experiences. So it's not like going to be a grind sitting there. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be dancing. There's going to be fun. I've got some fun activities planned for everyone. And so it's going to be just a very light, fun day. Now, anybody that doesn't want to be on Facebook, so when people register, they're going to get into the private Facebook group, and then they can watch it there, but they won't be able to go over anything again. So if they want the recordings, or maybe they can't participate, that maybe they've got something, I hope that they can come for the whole 7 hours, but if for some reason they can't make it, there will be recordings available for a nominal fee. So when they sign up for the free workshop, they'll have that opportunity for a nominal fee to be able to purchase the recordings. So
perfect.
Yeah.
And what's really nice about half hour, and like you were saying, you're interviewing, there's some questions, there's some answers, there's some participation, there's, some teaching, there's some dancing, so that's so nice and so different. And when you and I were talking about me being on it, that's what attracted me to this is bam, it's a lot of stuff. It's not just now just go sit down for 8 hours.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's, it'll definitely be entertaining.
And then the Facebook group too, that's a nice community.
It is, yeah. It's a Girl Tribe Fit, Fun, and Sexy on Facebook. And so, yeah, I'm trying to figure out some good times to take some walks. So actually on the morning of the 20th at 7 a.m., we're going to do an early morning walk and talk. And nice. So I'll publish a Zoom link. And that's how I run my Girl Tribe group. So you're in where you are. I happen to be in Ohio. I've got speakers from South Africa. Oh, I almost forgot about Lois. Lois is going to be on Lois Wagner about overcoming trauma. Ooh. And so she's got a beautiful story to tell. So, and she's in South Africa, and Kezia's in the UK, and who knows where everyone's going to be. So I've been trying to come up with the perfect time to do like a weekly Sunday walk. So if anyone joins that group and has a specific time that would work, that we could have a general consensus on, we'll do a walk and talk on a regular basis, but at least for Saturday's purpose, it'll be at 7 a.m. Eastern time. where we'll do that walk and talk, and more information in the group will be provided.
Perfect. And then where can people get the link to register?
Yeah, so it's, okay, yes, Awesome Wellness Women's Virtual Retreat.squarespace.com. So I'll say it again, it's the Awesome Wellness Women's Virtual Retreat.squarespace.com. And Laura, is it going to be somewhere on your site as well where people can click a link and get access?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the list of the bio, or the list of the speakers and their topics, and then the link. And I will put that right up. So if you're listening and you're driving and you're like, I can't do this, that's okay. Instead of show notes, I'm just going to put this down there. So thank you so much for being here, Leslie. I am really looking forward to the 20th, and I know it's going to be a ton of fun, and we're going to get a lot out of it because, like you were talking about the aging and the difference in aging, it is different now. And no, I don't feel old. And when I turned 50 and I started getting my AARP stuff, I'm like, whoa, that's wrong. That's wrong. But at the same time, I do understand it's important for me to understand my hormones, for me to understand things like, preventing osteoporosis, for me to be aware of some of the signals that my body is giving me, because I do plan on being here for a lot of more years, and I want to be active and having fun for a lot more years.
This thing that we're dealing with right now with COVID. So we did like a debrief with my program, and I asked, well, what are you celebrating? And one of my clients in the group said that her and her husband had contracted COVID at the same time. And she decided to do this group. Her energy was in the toilet, like before she started the group. She's made a full recovery by doing this walking program that she joined and participated in. And unfortunately, her husband is still making his recovery. And I thought, wow, like she couldn't say enough good things about how amazing she feels now that she has taken herself on, and she's, being more intentional with eating, and she's exercising, and her energy is through the roof now. So I really think that we need to be proactive. Like, don't wait for it to be a problem before you do something about it.
Yes. Yeah, because it's harder to overcome at that point. I'd rather, just framing it in weight loss terms, it's easier to lose 2 pounds than it is to lose 5 pounds, than it is to use 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So whatever it is, when we can be proactive and preventative, it's just easier. It's not that we can't overcome big things. Look at you, with 50 pounds, that's significant.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, whatever it is, you can do it, but let's do stuff along the way.
I agree.
Yeah. I know myself, at one point I went through adrenal fatigue, and same thing. That was hard to recover from. I wish I would have known earlier. So thank you for bringing these experts out to help make people aware, because some of it is just the lack of awareness.
Yeah. My thing is choose you, and there's nothing wrong with that. So on Saturday, my hope is that anybody that's listening will choose themselves and take advantage of this free wellness event.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here, Leslie. And I will see you on the 20th. And to anybody listening, oh my gosh, I hope I see you on the 20th as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. Listeners, have an amazing week. Please join us on the 20th. Leslie, if people can't join on the 20th, is there a way they can get in touch with you? Is it best through your Facebook group, or do you have an email?
Through the Facebook group is probably easier.
Perfect. And then we can put that in the link as well.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Listeners, have an amazing week. And as usual, always remember to flaunt exactly who you are, because who you are is always more than enough.
Tune in next time to Flaunt. Build your dreams, live your sparkle with radio host Laura Cheadle every Wednesday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. overcome the need to please, and find the uninhibited joy of being exactly who you are right now. Come find your fetish, laugh out loud, accept unconditionally, navigate the negative, and trust in your truth. Find out more and get your free gift at lauracheadle.com. That's LORACHEADLE.com.